few people in the history of NCAA football have set or broken more records than our next guest. And just to, clarify some of those records, how about NCAA season records for touchdowns, most consecutive games with 2 or more touchdowns, most points scored by 9 kickers? How about Big Ten season records, most touchdowns? How about an NCAA career record of 83 touchdowns scored? Yes, I am talking about our very own Montee Ball, who joins us now on the Sports News. And welcome on into the program, Montee. Thanks for joining us.
Hey, thank you for having me. I'm excited today.
Yeah, very cool to have you in here and talk with a real Wisconsin legend. Speaking of legends, you got the honor of the Camp Randall 100. So many great names on that list. That had to be pretty special to be included in that.
Very special. It was a good opportunity to get back and kind of see some of the guys who I haven't talked to in a while. And one being Randall, that was amazing. Time to get back, get some photos with him, catch up with him, and just to stand there on the field and look at the fans. That was an amazing opportunity for myself. I loved it.
Yeah, speaking of chatting with Randall, I've had the pleasure of doing so. You have now as well, and then you're also trying to do the broadcast thing, huh? How's that podcast thing working out for you?
Hey, it's it's different. It's different because I'm used to being asked questions, so sitting now on the other side of the table asking the questions is a challenge, but I love it. It's what I'm doing now, and it's a new and exciting path for myself.
Yeah, it definitely can be a lot of fun. And speaking of new, exciting paths, I guess not a new path, but maybe an old path that you're doing, re-enrolling back at the UW and going for your to graduate there, huh?
Yeah. That's it's a promise that I made to myself and my family. And once I left for the NFL, I was a few credits short. Now that journey is finished, I'm now back in school. Going to finish that up. Plan on graduating next year. Sometime in the summer. I got to work out the credits with that, but that's something that I have to do for myself.
Challenges too as well, a new challenge, fatherhood. How has that been treating you, Montee?
Oh man, that's listen, that's one of the greatest things. One of my greatest accomplishments is to look down at my son and have him look up at me and just know that now I have a bigger responsibility. There's something I have to take care of, someone I have to take care of, who I just love very, very much.
Yeah, speaking of accomplishments, I named some of them at the top of this interview. You had so many at the UW. What are some of the things that you really take with you? What are some of the biggest moments that you remember from your playing days?
Oh man, it's running out of the tunnel. Running out of the tunnel at Camp Randall. There's no place like it. There's no fans like it. Just watching all the fans, how much they commit to showing up on time and screaming their lungs out for us players is. I've had the opportunity to go to other stadiums, and just nothing compares to Camp Randall. So just the feeling of running out of the stadium and knowing that I'm about to, play my heart out for the fans and my team is something that I will always remember.
This past weekend, homecoming for the Badgers, big win over Maryland. They are 7-0, a top 5 team. What can you tell us about this year's Badger team? So I'm going to test your little podcast abilities here, your ability to be a broadcaster.
Yeah.
Break down this year's Badgers for us.
Break it down for you. Okay, well, I'll tell you what. I believe that this team is the full package. I do believe it. One player that sticks out to me, of course, is Jonathan Taylor, 1,000 yards in 7 games. That is one player who has no ceiling. The sky is the limit for him, and I believe that he knows that too because, now that it's getting colder, now that we're anticipating the weather to get worse, it's, you got to keep the ball on the ground, and he's going to have to make sure to, put the team on his back. And we got Hornibrook, he's making a few mistakes early on, but I'm not worried about that. He's got to just mesh well with the offense, believe in Coach Chryst's system, and lead this team to the Big Ten championship game and further on, playoff.
Yeah, what can you tell us about Paul Chryst? Now, he's back at the head coach, but you got a chance to play for him, didn't you?
Yes, I did. And, one thing I remember about Coach Chryst is his honesty. He's going to give it to you straight. He's not going to beat around the bush. He's going to tell you exactly what he wants you to do on each and every play, and that's what you expect from him too. Is whenever you go into meetings, he's going to tell you how it is, and I believe that's why you see these players, really excelling is because they trust in him, they trust in the system, and the proof is in the pudding.
Yeah, absolutely, and love that Badger system, love how that's all going, and of course, you were one of the big cogs in it back in the day. Montee, let's talk about some of the things you have going on right now. Let's talk about this celebrity poker tournament that's going to be coming up.
Yes, it's November 4th. Saturday. And the great thing about this is you can register at the door. So I'd like to see everybody attend. Get your poker faces ready. And proceeds all go towards the Madison Reading Project. Books are bought for underserved children. And just an opportunity to get together, have some fun, and give back to the community. For myself, though, I'm gonna try to win. I'm going to try to win. I got to show everybody that I have some experience and some poker.
It's the competitive side of you right there.
Yes,
and that whole literacy thing kind of segues into you. You got a book coming out, is that right?
Yes, I do. Yeah, I do. I'm excited. For everyone to, of course, go out and get my book that comes out next year. But it gives everybody, a different perspective of, the psyches of a student athlete and the psyches of an NFL athlete. What everybody sees is, they see the player on Sunday, they see the player on Saturday, but this book gives you an idea of, the pressures that they have to deal with from social media, from fans, from family. And it's, one thing that I love most about writing my own book is it's my own voice. And I'm excited about it.
Your journey's one that we have all followed, and we're all rooting for you as always. Montee, thank you so much for being here. We really appreciate it having you on the Sports.
Thank you so much for having me.
A special thank you to Conan Automotive in Stoughton for supporting local athletics.